What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode of the Second of Strength podcast. Wherever you're at, I'm grateful you're here, grateful you're listening. If you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you go take 2 seconds, 1 second, and leave a rating and review. And while you're at it, subscribe to the show. I am really bad, especially on social media, about reminding people when these episodes are. And so if you're subscribed to the show, you'll always know when they're at. But it does help me a ton if you leave a rating and review. But this week's episode, we're going to talk about something that happened this weekend. My wife and I had an opportunity for my work when I'm not speaking in front of students. I'm director of marketing for a brand, and we had the opportunity to sponsor a race here in Utah. And this is a women's run. It's a women's epic race is what it's called. And so I also went there to support my wife and her sisters who were running this race. And a couple of things happened in this race that I really want to touch base on, because whether you are running an actual physical race or you are running the race of life, whichever it is, I think these three things are really going to help you kind of frame your growth, frame your success, frame the outcome of what you want to have happen. Because I think all too often we kind of get going through the motions on things in life, and we don't kind of get to where we want to go, right? And so we're going to talk about these things, and really the three areas that when I think of life, when I think of growth, when I think of your potential, when I think of who you're becoming, when I think of running an actual physical race or endurance competition, it's really all in the preparation. It's in the enduring to the end, and it's how you finish. And a couple of things happened in this race that I really want to touch on that'll kind of bring this to light. But the first is preparation. My wife is in training right now. She's about 5 weeks away from this endurance competition called Everesting 29029, which is she is about to hike in 36 hours, the equivalent of Mount Everest. This is run by Jesse Itzler and Colin O'Brady, who are in this motivational space, and endurance competitions really, really big in that space. So they put on this run. And so my wife has been very diligent in her training for this race, because it's all about building up your lungs, building up your energy, building up your strength so that you can endure the physical aspects of this competition as well as the mental aspect of it. Because I don't know, until you see it, 36 hours hiking a mountain 15 times is grueling. It's daunting, and it takes everything out of you. And so it all comes with the preparation. And so she has been waking up early, doing her runs, doing her exercises, putting in the work that is required to be successful, because you have to put yourself in a position of success. And I think too many times we want success, we expect success, we think that it should be given to us, but we're not willing to put ourselves in position for it. And you put yourself in position for success based on how you prepare. And so Danny's been doing this. And so this run that she did, this hike that she did this weekend, it was a 10 kilometer. So what's that? A little over 5 miles. And she has run this one time in the past, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And when she finished the race this time, she was like, that was easy. And it really comes down to the fact that she's been preparing so much over the last few months for this other endurance competition that she's about to do. And so it just felt easy versus a few years ago when she really was taxed and really struggled up this mountain. This competition that she did this weekend, this race, it's at Brighton Ski Resort in Utah, which is, so it's a hike, it's a climb, it's at the top of a mountain. And so anyway, but it all came down to her preparation. And when you break down the preparation and what it takes to reach your goals, it really comes down to, one, setting that big goal. What is the goal you want to accomplish? And then breaking that goal into smaller tasks that you can achieve successfully over time. That's what it is. It's about consistency. It's about putting in that sweat equity time and time and time again, because anything you want to accomplish in life comes down to consistency. And so breaking these big goals, these big, hairy, audacious dreams that you have into these smaller bite-sized pieces that you can accomplish is really how you do it. If you are setting out to literally climb a mountain, you don't look at the top of the mountain and arrive. You take one step, and then you take another step. And so You have to prepare. And when you prepare correctly, success becomes almost inevitable. Sure, there's things that can happen along the way. There's diversions, there's other, speed bumps and things that happen, but preparation is the key to success. From there, it comes down to endurance. There are going to be moments in your journey of life, in your journey of your dreams, in your journey of becoming the best version of yourself in the business that you're doing, in the life that you're running. There are going to be times, or if you're climbing an actual mountain, there are going to be times where you feel like you just can't keep going. I've been there. I know what that feels like. Sometimes it is crippling, and it just feels like you can't keep going. But here's the thing. That mountain, the thing that you're climbing, the obstacle that is in your way, it doesn't know you. It doesn't know that you have everything you need inside to accomplish it. And it doesn't mean it won't be easy. It doesn't mean it will be easy. It doesn't mean it won't be hard, but you have everything you need to accomplish it. But this is where your 1 second of strength really comes into play, because in those moments where your brain is giving up on you, and it'll trick you into doing that, right? When your brain feels like you can't go on, you can't take another step, you can't possibly move forward anymore, that's when you have to dig deep and find your 1 second of strength and choose to take one more step forward. One more step forward. And I don't care if you have to repeat that 1 second of strength mantra every single second until you reach your goal. But I promise when you repeat it, it will give you the strength to carry on one more time. Because when we think about this endurance and enduring to the end, and we think about what that takes, it takes mental fortitude. It takes mental strength. If we've prepared correctly, it will help us for sure. And if we are in the moment, resilient to the fact that we are not going to give up, we are not going to quit, then the chances of us quitting, the chances of us giving in become very, very slim. Very, very slim. So endure to the end, because a lot of what endurance is, if we've prepared correctly, a lot of what endurance is just consistency over time. Be consistent. Be true to the goals and the promises that you've made yourself. And if you're true to the promises and the goals that you've made to yourself, then you will ultimately, at some point, arrive at the goal that you've set your sights on. So that's the second thing. Prepare. We want to endure. And then the last thing, and oh my gosh, y'all, I have to tell you, it was heartbreaking watching this. But the very last thing is you have to finish strong. Too many people quit too soon. You don't know where you're at. You don't know, you can't see on the other side of the horizon. You can't see how far it's going to be to get to the goal that you want. And so too many people quit or slow up a little bit too soon. And so as I'm watching this race on Saturday, the first two finishers, they finished a 5 miles, 10K. It was about 50 minutes. And they come screaming down the mountain. And the girl that was in the lead, she was about 30 yards from the finish line, and she had about a 20-yard lead. And so she's running down the mountain, and she slowed up. And the girl in second place, she saw an opportunity, and she sprinted as fast as she could. And right at the end, she beat her. She took first place because she finished strong. She kept going. She pushed through. And this is not to take away from the incredible race that the second place finisher took. That's absolutely insane. And all of these women who did this race was very inspiring to watch. But this girl had it. She had it in the bag. It was hers to take, and she slowed up. She just didn't finish strong enough. And whatever race you're running right now, whatever your race in life, whether you're a teenager and you're pushing through those teenage years, whether you are a mom, a dad, an entrepreneur, you are an endurance athlete, you are a marathon runner, you are whoever you are, keep going, keep pushing, dig a little bit deeper, finish a little bit stronger, keep pushing, because if you don't, I think the worst part is we're going to be left with regret. That girl, I'm sure, is celebrating right now all of her success. and getting second place. But she also knows what could have been. And there's people when asked what happens on somebody's deathbed, like what's the one thing, and regret comes up time and time again. It's the things that they could have done. It's the things that you should have done. It's all of that. That's where we don't want to get to at the end of our life. We don't want to regret what could have been because we didn't give it all we could in the moment. That's why it's so important that we prepare correctly, that we're enduring, and that we're finishing strong, because those are the moments. The only moment that really matters right now is this one. This is the only moment you have. So wherever you're at, I hope that you stand up. I hope that you keep fighting. I hope that you keep walking. I hope that you push forward one more step, one more time. Just keep going, because you are going to make it to the end. You will make it. The question is, how are you going to make it? Finish strong, and please don't give up. Too many people are so close to their dreams. You're so close to what you want to accomplish in your life. It's just around the next corner. And instead, we feel like it's too far, or we feel like it's too much, or we feel like the efforts that we've had in the past aren't enough, and so we quit too soon. Please don't quit. Please keep going. And so anyway, I hope this helps you today. I don't even know, it just struck me today, over this weekend, watching these incredible women do this endurance competition, that we all have what it takes inside of us to be great. Every one of these women, from the first person that finished and the second, all the way to the very last person that I watched cross that finish line hours later, every one of them did remarkable. Every one of them pushed through something really, really difficult. And the thing that you're pushing through right now that is really, really difficult in your life, you're going to make it through. But you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. You have to take one more step. And I promise if you do, you'll get there. So anyway, I hope this helps you. Share this with someone if it did. You can always tag me on Instagram at @RealTannerClark. I will leave you the same way I always leave you. Go find your 1 second of strength and be happy.